tackle at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win! They win it!
All the playoff history of these two teams goes back many years. The Suns lead in the playoffs. There you see our referees, a very solid crew tonight with Tommy Nunez, Danny Crawford, and Joe Forte. Game one went to the Suns on a 42-point performance by Rex Chapman, 106-101. In game two, the Sonics shocked the Suns, winning by 44, and George Karl's team lost here a couple nights ago, 110-103.
Came out, started and played real well. 31, 15, 16, and had a good lead, but they couldn't maintain it because they stopped making shots. So the key, as I talked to Danny Ainge before the game, is if whomever makes shots, it's not about adjustments. It's just about knocking him down.
Here come the Sonics, and Gary Payton working on Jason Kidd right off the bat. Hawkins will try for three, and a quick lead for Seattle.
Okay, that's a good start, and Hawk will make some shots early. It's the wide open shots later in the game that he's got to be making.
Jason Kidd's coming off a great game in game three. Works inside. Cummings now has him on the mismatch. Tisdale left three. Outside his range. Rebound by Kemp.
Well, Tizzy can make that shot. That's what they call him. Tizzy can make it, but he needs to just be a little more patient. His best position, you're correct on the block. This is where I think they've got to take advantage of.
Cummings, great feed inside. Kemp was doubled. Williams was there. Kevin Johnson starts, and a foul called inside. And they lace it with Kevin Johnson.
And you see Terry Cummings, the wily old veteran, trying to talk a little bit to Shawn Kemp, because the double teams will come at both Kemp and Shrimp. Now, Terry Cummings may be the guy they come from, and if they do that, then you've got to make plays just as Cummings did. Get it down inside so you can, again, take advantage of your height.
Shawn Kemp, who is besieged with rumors and innuendo throughout most of the regular season, Quinn, has come on very strong in these playoffs. He's a much better free throw shooter, although not seen on that one right there during the playoffs, and averaging almost 4 points more in the postseason.
He's been consistent in all of his areas. You know, he's rebounded the ball extremely well. He may not have shot it quite as good, but he's still up to 48, 49% and doing his job on the glass.
Sonics by 4 with a little less than a minute gone here in the opening quarter. Rex Chapman for three. Kemp with his second rebound. Payton on the fly. Kidd meets him. And Shrimp quickly draws the double and passes out effectively to Hawkins for another three. Rebound Chapman off the hands of Kemp. It's Phoenix's ball.
You see they come down on the double team, and then again, George Karl has to have his team make shots. If you give Hawkins that shot, that's one, if you have to, take a step inside the three-point line just so you can get comfortable in your range.
Screen by Williams, and a great feed from Kidd inside. Another rebound by Kemp. He's got three. And Payton in a foot race with KJ, and with Kidd, he knocks it away.
And it was good defense by Johnson that allowed that block.
Raymond Tisdale.
So that's a 4-point turn, and it's because Johnson hustled back. We were worried about his ankle. He hustled back and it wouldn't allow Payton to explode, and that's how Kidd comes and gets the block.
Sonics have gone 1 of 3 to start the game. Here's Cummings, wide open for a three, and they let him take it.
They'll take their chance on Terry Cummings taking threes all day. 12-footers, I wouldn't.
Now Tisdale on Shrimp. And inside they feed to Cummings. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Shrimp inside over Williams, can't get it to go. Kemp with his 4th rebound, and he taps up and in his miss.
You see Kemp was active. He's come out and tried to keep his team in the game.
Kemp with 3 points, 4 rebounds, and 2:10 gone in the game.
This is Raymond's game here. If he can get it down on the block and get you one-on-one, he is difficult to handle.
Kevin Johnson draws the double. Kidd outside. Chapman has to make an athletic catch, and Shrimp is right there. Now doubled by Payton. A great steal by Hawkins, who leads the team in the postseason in steals. 3-on-2. Payton slides in for 2.
And this time he anticipated that help coming from Kevin Johnson and forced the action with his shoulder to get it up left-handed.
Sonics by 6, and Danny Ainge using Kevin Johnson with the bad wheel, and over 2 he throws it up and can't get it to go, but he was fouled on the perimeter shot.
Seattle is starting to do a little bit more of what they normally do. They're a team that get disruptive, and they haven't been able to do that because of the ball handling ability. This still comes because of the trap on the other side, of which Gary Payton was involved in. You see he can go, make sure that he gets his body on Rex Chapman so he can't go up for it, and then Kevin Johnson came late, could not get it, and Kevin came back, got fouled on the jump shot.
85% free throw shooter. Kevin Johnson sprained that ankle. He did not practice yesterday, but did shoot around today early, got it loosened up, and gave the go-ahead to go.
Now, that's one of those injuries that it looked to me as though he fell on his leg. I think Sean Kemp fell on his leg. And Kevin Johnson, I never doubted that he would play. You know, there's a little coyness going on with the guys with the team talking about whether a guy can play or not, so you can worry about how to practice against him or not.
Sonics by 5, under 10 to shoot. Payton draws Chapman. Shrimp with a triple.
That will help them because they need depth of Shrimp to be bigger when he's being guarded, particularly on the inside, by Rex Chapman.
So the Sonics have hit 2 of 3 from above the arc. They lead by 8 for a second time, 11-3. Johnson off a screen and over Hawkins. He hits, and that's a good early sign for the offense of the Sonics.
Kevin Johnson has improved his field goal percentage shooting up to 51% because Jason Kidd handles the ball, and it allows Johnson to come off the screen just as he did there.
They blend very well in that back.
Yeah, I mean, they can just play basketball. They don't worry about who's a 1 or a 2. They just play.
Waiting for another 3. It's the 4th try by the Sonics. Cummings is there, beating out Johnson, and got great position.
Nobody blocked Terry Cummings out.
Sonics by 8 again. Kevin Johnson. Kidd for 3.
That's partially blocked by Payton.
Payton got a hand on it. Kemp catches it. Payton the other way. 4 on 2. Cummings tries to finish and does.
Yeah, but Payton makes the play because he got in the air and he could see the defense coming while he was in the air and made the play.
A different Sonics team tonight. They lead by 10.
It came out like this in 3, Kevin. But they couldn't maintain it. The momentum, they just could not maintain.
So Danny Ainge went to a 4-guard lineup, and that changed the game. Tisdale missing again. Rebound by Cummings. 9-1. Seattle has out-rebounded the Suns so far. 7.5 to play in the first quarter. Payton with his second 3 tonight.
Now you got them inside and out, and you've got to make a decision, and Danny Ainge has got to talk it over. And now you've got to decide who you're coming off of when you go to double team.
The Sonics have hit 3 from above the 3-point arc and take a commanding 18-5 lead.
When you play defense, the thing you have to do is just understand the rotations, and you can't turn your head. That was Jason Kidd. Now watch. You'll see the penetration. Jason Kidd goes under. The help comes out, and then the penetration. Now Jason Kidd now has lost his man. His man is Terry Cummings. Jason Kidd loses him. A free tip in because Jason Kidd turned his head on his man. Terry Cummings get the putback. So when you go into rotation, the problem that you always have is getting a body on a man. That's how the Sonics got that basket.
Cedric Ceballos in the game. He fainted a couple nights ago, and they just said dehydration and fatigue, so he is back after a night in the hospital. Hale and Hardy and ready to go as Kevin Johnson, also injured, comes up with another 2.
Now that's his favorite side of the court. When he would prefer to go left to the center. And that's why he runs it to the right side all the time. And at some point, I suspect late in the game, you'll see a double team to keep him on that side of the floor.
So Ceballos, Kidd, Johnson, Williams, and Rex Chapman. Gary Payton to miss. Leaping rebound by Chapman. And here comes a 3-on-3 led by Johnson with Williams trailing. And Williams got it inside, and Shrimp took it away.
Well, Johnson got it where he needed to go. He pushed the tempo, and that's what Kevin Johnson wants to do.
Cummings to Payton. There's a wide open lane.
And a smart pass. Terry Cummings so far has been valuable for this team because he's made a good pass to Sean Kemp. He makes the tip in, and he makes a very solid pass there to Gary Payton.
Another 13-point lead for the Seattle Supersonics. 6:15 in the first quarter. And a 2-point shot by Jason Kidd. Are they going to call it for 3?
They give him a 3. Suns had off today, and we came over and talked to George Karl for the Sonics. The only person that came over for the Suns was Jason Kidd to come over to work on his shooting. Obviously, it paid off on that basket.
Only shooting 20% in the playoffs.
He's not a guy that shoots it that well, but he knows that he was going to get some shots.
It's by Kidd, pickpocketed by Ceballos. Here's a 3, make it a 4 on 2.
Good defensive play by the Suns, and they've been doing a very good job of getting points off of turnovers.
A little 5-2 run here by Phoenix. Nice ball rotation to Shrimp. Banged by Ceballos. Helped the 2 and sent Shrimp to the line.
But what's huge about it is Shrimp making shots. I mean, he's been making them most of the time, but if he's able to make shots, he'll do them a lot of good. He had 12.6 rebounds the other night.
Shrimp in the playoff shooting 37%. At the free throw line, 9 of 10. He's been much better at the free throw line. That's the throw right there. Well, tomorrow the NBA playoffs continue right here on TNT. 8 o'clock Eastern, Game 4 of Atlanta-Detroit. Then at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, Game 4 of the Lakers and Trailblazers series. Tomorrow it's doubleheader action right here on TNT.
That Atlanta-Detroit game, it will be a heck of a game. Grant Hill played the other night, and I thought he did an outstanding job getting his team going. They got Lindsey Hunter, had a huge game for them, and they're going to put a real challenge on the Atlanta Hawks.
What about Orlando beating Miami tonight?
You know, I have to give Orlando credit because the way they came out the first 2 games, I didn't think they did enough to save themselves in terms of pride, but I thought they played with some pride these last 2.
A 3 by Cedric Ceballos, the second by the Suns, who come to within a 23-15 reach, and then Phoenix forcing a turnover. And the Sonics give it back to Phoenix.
They came to double team that time, and George Carr knows that you got to be patient on that double team. You'll get shots.
Suns are shooting 54%. Sonics 56%. Rex Chapman over Hawkins. Another rebound by Kemp. He's got 7 already, just beyond the halfway point of the first quarter. Sam Perkins in for the first time. Shrimp to Kemp, and the double pump, and it won't go in, but a foul called on Phoenix's Jason Kidd.
I tell you what's been solid for the Sonics is their pass. First of all, the recognition, because there's a double team that's going to come when you have the height advantage that George Karl's club has. Importantly, once you recognize that the double team comes, you have to find the people, Kemp inside, Shrimp inside, Perkins inside, not enough height from the Suns.
Well, the Sonics, Quinn, have got to be feeling the pressure. Not tiring physically, but the weight of past playoff failures and the pressure of letting the home court advantage slip away in this series has got to be taking a toll.
Well, you know, at this point, if you in playoff series, the only thing that I ever thought about when I was on team is you find out things to motivate you. That's what should motivate you.
This 3 by Chapman, out of bounds and off at the Sonics. Seattle will get it with 4.5 to play. Danny Ainge's crew so far shooting 46% from the field. Payton for 3. Again, he puts it in.
Well, 46% is what they shoot. What they've got to start doing is stretching the defense. They shoot 39% in the wins from the 3-point line, and that's what they need to do. Because you see, you can keep backing up on them.
Jason Kidd hits. He's got 5.
But if he's not penetrating, he's not getting anybody else involved, though, either.
Perkins to Hawkins to Kemp. Ceballos on Kemp. Threw a double at him. And here's Perkins for 3. Rebound by Ceballos, who has energized the Suns.
Yeah, Ceballos is coming and giving him something, but Sam Perkins is really struggling as Kidd makes another shot.
Looks like that extra practice today, the only guy to do it for the Suns, has paid off.
Well, he's got confidence.
So Jason Kidd, who comes into the game tonight shooting 20% from the field in the playoffs, has started 3 of 4 from the floor. Shrimp to Kemp, and he's open. And Williams to come out. Williams got a hand on it.
He got stubborn. He had the shot the first time. He's got to take it.
Ceballos to KJ, 3:15 in the first quarter. Evan Johnson has been struggling with his scoring, but he's got 5 tonight. 2 of 2 from the field.
You got to get out there.
For 3, Ceballos. Kemp with his 8th rebound tonight. Perkins has had a dreadful shooting playoff too. Here's Kemp again.
But he's got, I don't understand that play. He had Kevin Johnson on, and he never looked to take it to the basket.
Ceballos at the other end. There's a shove, and Ceballos slow to get up.
It was not intentional. Sean Kemp, in his effort to get back, couldn't stop himself as Ceballos went up. And he ran under him. That's Cedric Ceballos, who actually what they did was they had a huddle, and Cedric was laying down, and everybody else got up. Cedric didn't get up. Wayman Tisdale saw him, and they had to go back and finally carry him inside. Obviously, he's fine. He's playing tonight.
Ceballos hits his first.
Cedric Ceballos is an energy guy. Here's a guy that was here, and then they traded him away to Los Angeles, and he, had his problems with the Lakers, and then they brought him back, and he's about the right size to play with Danny Ainge's 3-guard, 4-guard combination because he can run. He has done a pretty good job rebounding. He's blocked shots. So I think those kinds of things make him valuable. And he's always been known as a guy that can get you some offensive numbers.
Yeah, like you said, kind of the odd man out in the switch that four-guard unit.
Yeah, and what the difference in him now and when he was here before, he would have complained the last time. This time he said, whatever you need, I'm willing to get it. And so he has had some maturity in the time that he's been away from the Suns.
Both teams are shooting 50% from the floor. Perkins has not taken one. Then he got confidence. Greg Graham is in the game for the Sonics. He just fed inside to Shrimp, who forces the issue into Manning. And a foul is called. Let's go quickly to Scott Hastings.
Hey, thanks, Kevin. I talked with Danny before the game, and he was talking about how bad they have played in the first quarter all through the season. If you look at this series, in fact, they were outscored by 10 in Game 3, 17 in Game 2. They kept it close in that first game win in Seattle. They were only down 3, but only scored 20 points. They wanted to keep it close because they knew Seattle was going to come out hot, just like they have.
Well, they've been able to do that. This for a team that scores points as quickly as Phoenix does. You know, if you can keep it down actually below 20 for Phoenix, it's enough. They score enough points because they're a three-point shooting team.
Steve Nash will come in. We'll see very limited time in the first 3 games of this series. Kevin Johnson will take. This doesn't really surprise anybody because Kevin Johnson has got the bad ankle and he's had a history of injuries.
Well, one of the reasons why the talk of retirement has somewhat subsided, if you will, particularly from the Sun side, they never encouraged it, was because Kevin Johnson has been healthy. And Kevin has felt that, his play has been really solid. But he's had a minor injury here. I just think Danny Ainge does not want to push him long minutes at a time.
Now Kidd, Manning, Ceballos, Nash, along with Wesley Person. Jason Kidd comes up big again, and Jason Kidd has got 9. He's in his last 3.
But he's going right at Greg Graham. Greg Graham hadn't been in this situation. He'll get a chance to make plays.
Danny Manning picks it up, trying to guard Sam Perkins inside the lane.
The 2 guards would prefer to go left. And Jason Kidd, watch him get this ball. Watch how easily he does that. See, they like to go left. And most guys have trouble raising this up and controlling it, but he does not. And neither Kevin Johnson can finish left-handed as well.
Perkins hits that. The small ball, which has been popularized here in Phoenix, has caused George Karl some problems. He said, I'm done trying to match up with it. We have to play to our strength, and I can't worry what Phoenix is going to do.
He's right, and I thought that he would do that earlier in the series, but when you lose the first game, you're forced to change and try to do some things differently. But the odd thing about this, Kevin, is for a long time, George Karl's teams used to play this way.
Exactly.
They were disruptive and tried to get you to come play with them. This game, or this series, Phoenix and Danny Ainge are dealing the cards, and you have to play with the hand you dealt. That's George Karl.
Kidd trying to take it himself. He's got the hot hand, and so he'll find himself at the free throw line with 1:43 to play here in the first quarter with Quinn Buckner and Scott Hastings. Kevin Harlan from America West Arena in Phoenix, where today it was 89 and sunny and a golfer's paradise.
It was a beautiful day out here today, and it was beautiful. Jason Kidd came in and shot some hoops. And he said because he thought Kevin Johnson was going to be a little tentative and a little sore. That's why he came in and worked on his game a little bit. And it's paid off here early for the Suns.
Shrimp with the rebound. 1:40 to play in the first quarter.
Guys are in the game. Greg Graham is the guy that's going to have to make plays. They've got David Wingate in the game. And they've got to be effective.
And again, no Nate McMillan because of a torn cartilage in his knee. Oh, Greg Graham stepped out of bounds.
Well, I'll tell you what, and it's a big shot. It'll be real interesting to see how Greg Graham handles the next play because his first one goes in, and when you have not been scoring well, that's big, and he stepped out of bounds prior to that shot.
Sonics have led it by as many as 13. Phoenix has never led in this game. His kid has been hot. Graham draws the foul on the perimeter.
It was a smart play by Jason Kidd. He saw the double team coming, and instead of waiting for it, he attacked the double team, and Greg Graham fouled him.
Kidd tonight, 9 points, 2 assists, and from the stripe, he is 0 of 2.
You can see coming at him is Greg Graham, and all the Kidd did was read him coming, just get around, get close to him, and then change directions at the last minute. Kidd obviously struggling from the foul line.
Kidd, who is 7 years younger than Kevin Johnson, both went to Cal.
both from Northern California.
And the way they were blended together by Danny Ainge is one of the great stories this year in the NBA because a lot of people thought it wouldn't work out.
Well, he basically let them play. He didn't try to force anybody into any particular position. He said, let's go out and play. But he told Kevin he thought it would help his career because it takes some of the pressure off him handling the ball.
Perkins to Payton to Graham to Wingate. And Trent is free. That was a nice play.
That's the play he's got to make. If you're not going to shoot the shot, then you've got to get your team in a position to make plays. And that's what they did then. They wanted to make sure that the 24-second clock was lined up. They added actually 2.3 seconds to that clock, to the game clock.
Good job by Danny Crawford. 34-24. Sonics by 10. Winding down the first quarter from Phoenix. 52% shooting tonight by the Sonics. 52% by the Suns. Kidd to Nash.
Tough shot. He had to take that one leaning because Gary Payton was coming from behind him, and he was able to get it to go down.
Greg Graham, who played for Bobby Knight at Indiana, gets it off to Gary Payton, who has been the leading scorer for this team. And off a 34-point performance, Perkins, who has not had the hot hand he usually displays, puts it in with the runner down the lane inside his range, but maybe that'll get him going.
Well, what's encouraging about it for the Sonics is that he at least tacked the basket.
So this small ball lineup of Phoenix against the big guys of Seattle. Kidd for two. Rebound by Wingate, out to Payton. Good if it goes, and we've come to the close of the first quarter. It's the little guys against the big guys, just like the playground here in Phoenix. Game 4 of the best of 5, first round of the Western Conference playoffs. At the end of one, Sonics by 10. Rex Chapman is back in the game, joining Sabalos, Kevin Johnson. We start the second quarter with Johnson working on Greg Graham, and illegal defense blown on the Sonics.
No, I think they might have called
foul on Gary Payton.
Gary Payton trying to get through the pick. He was trying to muscle through the pick.
Earlier tonight on TNT, Orlando beat Miami 99-91. That sets up a Game 5 in Miami on Saturday. Here comes Kevin Johnson just into the second quarter. Mismatch against Sam Perkins. Manning trying to free himself against Graham, and he gets a great entry pass and takes advantage as they exploit the mismatch.
Well, that's what Phoenix likes to do if they can get it done. And Seattle probably should try to get the same thing, but Seattle chose not to double team that.
Payton into Perkins. He scored 2 in a row.
The good thing was the pass. Get it inside. You got height. Hey, the game is not that hard, and particularly when you get here in championship play. Keep it simple. You don't want turnovers.
George Karl said we're going to work on our strength and not worry about the small ball here. Phoenix is man against them outside.
They got a pick and roll there, and that time was Wingate that didn't rotate to pick up Danny Manning.
Sonics by 8. They've led by 13. Phoenix has never led. Inside double is Perkins out to Shrimp. Payton feeds to Wingate. You thought had to have a pretty good game in the absence of the injured Nate McMillan.
He didn't shoot that one very good. It was flat. It had no height at all. And what he's got to hope for is that Sean Kemp and the balance of the team, Gary Payton particularly, they've got to keep convincing David Wingate. If you're open, you've got to take the shot, and hopefully it'll go in for him.
Shrimp is out. Kemp is in. Kemp, Perkins, Wingate, Payton along with Greg Graham. And the mismatch, Johnson and Perkins.
The mismatch they want is the one inside. See, the Suns are being a little more patient. What they've decided to do is get a mismatch, and they've just, because they haven't made shots from the outside, is go inside, which is good strategy.
Shot clock at 4. And Kevin Johnson, a desperation 3. Manning off his hands, off of Phoenix. Seattle the other way.
Yeah, they got caught in a bad situation. Kevin Johnson was losing his balance and not only couldn't get righted, but he had the wingspan of Sam Perkins coming at him as well.
Nice pick off by Sabalos, shoved by Perkins, and a foul at mid-court on Sam Perkins. Number 1 on him.
It was a good foul by Sam Perkins. The decision to make the pass was a tough one because you had a chance to go. Now you'll see Sam Perkins just comes up and just make sure he doesn't go anywhere. It was the forearm in the chest that was objected to by Ceballos, and I don't necessarily disagree with him for that. You don't want to ever get caught like that. I don't mind a hard foul, but you don't have to hit me like that.
Kevin Johnson this time works on Perkins and gets it to Manning, and that's what Kevin Johnson does so well. He breaks down defenses with quick moves off the dribble.
But Manning did a good job holding his man off.
Payton to Kemp. Perkins to Graham, and Graham to Wingate for three. They're getting the shots with great ball rotation.
Great block out by Kevin Johnson. Perkins knocked it up the first time and then got blocked out.
Chapman for three. Ceballos with an offensive board. 6-point ball game. Another three. Kemp with his 9th rebound. 9:15 in the half. Perkins with Manning, doubled by Chapman. Wingate on Ceballos and the runner. Rebound by Danny Manning, outlet to Chapman.
Good job getting back. Cedric Ceballos goes down. I don't think he's hurt, though.
Kemp, number 10 in rebounding tonight. Perkins to Payton. Trying to get Perkins inside with position, bumping off a person, can't get the shot to go. Ceballos is there to lasso the rebound.
What's happened here is that the Suns have tired out the Sonics. They can't get to the ball. I mean, they're getting him. Sam couldn't finish that play. This is where Graham and these guys need to make some play.
Johnson has missed 2 in a row. Payton will try to hit his 3rd three, and he does. 3 from downtown for Gary Payton.
Well, Gary Payton has stepped up. I mean, they've got some energy, but the rest of the guys, Sam missed that shot because he just didn't have the energy to finish it.
13 for Payton, coming off a 34-point performance the other night. Manning inside with a nice feed from Kevin Johnson, who comes up with his 4th assist.
And an outstanding pass. The help's got to come while the ball is in the air.
Payton, will he make it 4? Rebound by Danny Manning, his 2nd board. Kevin Johnson by Payton. Pickpocketed by Kemp, and here comes a 3-on-3. Graham just sped right by the defense. Chapman picks it up. Kevin Johnson the other way.
Yeah, he was running so fast, he never exploded upwards. He kept going out and didn't get the shot to go in.
Person for 3. Ceballos cleans it up inside.
That's Ced's game. You don't have to run plays for him. He can score. Great timeout because clearly momentum was heading toward the Suns. But more importantly, the energy level of the Sonics has died.
And let's go to Scott Hastings.
Thanks, Kevin. In the huddle that time with the Sonics, George called, hey, don't get in the kind of game where you're just going to run up and down the court and shoot the threes. If you got a break, take it. Let's set our offense up, count it inside. Guys?
Well, 4 guards are in the game right now, so 4 on the floor for the Phoenix Suns. Kemp.
Sean had an easy shot. He just couldn't finish it. But the reason you don't want to get into the game that Scott was talking about was because it wears out the legs of the Sonics.
Well, Saturday, our friends over at NBC have more NBA playoff action. It all gets underway 3 p.m. Eastern with Showtime. And at 3:30, it's either Game 5 of Phoenix-Seattle or it'll be Game 1 of Phoenix and Houston from the Summit. Rebound by Kemp. He's got 11 in the first half. And then join playoff action in Miami with Orlando in the Heat. Timeout taken, 41-36. 6:42 to play in the half. Sonics holding on by 5. Game 4 here in Phoenix. The Suns lead this series so far 2-1 with Quinn Buckner and Scott Hastings, Kevin Harlan. Big guys chasing little guys, getting guys in foul trouble, getting beat off the dribble becomes frustrating, which is a part of Phoenix's game plan against a bigger Seattle team.
Phoenix has done this because Danny Ainge has said, quite frankly, we don't have an option. We don't have an inside game. So he's forced people to come play his style of basketball. Now, you know, the irony of it is there were a couple other teams that had done that to Seattle that got their attention, but you see that Orlando went with it a little bit tonight against Miami. At one point late in the, in the quarter, they had 5 guards, but it is speed against size, And what you've got to be able to do is take advantage of your strength. And if you're running up and down the court like Seattle was doing, you're not taking advantage of your strength. You're playing right into the hands of Danny Ainge.
And they lose McMillan, but they do have Payton, speaking of Seattle. But it's going to be driving Seattle nuts defensively because Phoenix is playing now, coming very much in both here in the second quarter. This helter-skelter type of play.
What really gets Seattle in some trouble is they tend to switch everything. So you end up with a big guarding a small who has to chase.
Rex Chapman puts up a 3 and he can't connect. He has not hit a 3 tonight. They recall set an NBA record playoff at 9 in game 1 up in Seattle. And here's Payton giving off to Shrimp out there with Kemp, Cummings, and Hawkins. A 3 by Payton. He's knocked in 4.
I'll tell you what they've done with him if they can. But what they try to get him is to make him the second pass, because what Phoenix is doing is taking the second guy and sending him for the double team. And if Gary Payton's shooting it well, shooting it like he is, he gets a wide open shot.
Payton has scored 17 in the first half. KJ inside to Manning. He's hit 5 of 5 in this quarter.
He's had some nice looks, but he's got some good feeds from KJ. This is the tempo that Seattle wants to play at.
Half court. They've got Payton hitting Hawkins for another 3. And for the Sonics, they've just knocked in their 7th three-point jump shot tonight.
Danny Ainge will live with them shooting jump shots, because he's got to believe that this is not something they'd prefer to do.
Hawkins has 2. He's drilled from outside. 5.5 to play in the half. Here comes Kidd with an acrobatic move inside, and he is Danny Manning has been hot off the bench for Danny Ainge.
He's been hot. Now watch him find in traffic. He's in trouble, and availing himself is Danny Manning right there under the basket. No one can get the help. And you get that from these guards that penetrate. Both of these guys think pass first. In the league, they both average 9+ assists out of their team's 25 for the season. So they get 18 between the two guards, always looking to find the open man.
Kidd from the stripe, 2 of 6. 11 points, 3 assists.
But they keep getting to the foul line, and it has worked pretty much in their favor for the most part.
Sonics on top. A turnover by Seattle. Here comes Kidd. He got it to go! What a play by Jason Kidd!
What a shot to be able to accelerate and get that one over the top of his head and finish. Remember, he's right-handed going left. Gary Payton tries to get back. He reaches at the last minute, and over the top of his head, Kidd gets that one to fall. When he gets it to fall for one good reason. Young players, when you're playing, keep your eyes on the basket. You'll have some good results.
Well, he is making his debut in the playoffs in this series against Seattle, and he has brought his Suns with that three-point play to within 6, 48-42. Shrimp to Hawkins. And the Hawk over Johnson. Sean Kemp, another rebound. They are knocked away inside, picked up by Kevin Johnson. Retaken by Kemp. 3-on-2 the other way. Make it 4-on-2 with Shrimp. And he carried the ball.
You're in the Suns game now.
Well, tomorrow the NBA playoffs continue right here on TNT at 8 o'clock Eastern. It's Game 4 of Atlanta-Detroit. Then at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, Game 4 of the Lakers and Blazers series. Tomorrow it's doubleheader action right here on TNT. Kemp with rebound number 13.
He has been active on the glass.
Gary Payton dumps it off to Shrimp. Mismatch against Johnson. Let's see what the taller Shrimp does. Doubled by Manning. Out to Kemp, who's left free. And Hawkins, who has hit 2 threes, will wiggle inside. Manning to Person to Kidd. Wesley Person for the triple.
Tough shot to take. He was not in rhythm or anything. And Hawkins is hurting his shots a little bit. I mean, he's got a chance to get Kevin Johnson a little height advantage. He doesn't need to hurry.
This seems to be a good time where Nate McMillan would be inserted and slow things down just a bit as Payton takes it into a double team.
Yeah, he would be the guy that would help him get under control. And that's what they miss. Even if they put Wingate in the game or anybody else, that's what they really miss, is a guy that is the coach on the floor. And George Karl has said he would hope that Nate McMillan would be a coach on his bench at some time.
Sean Kemp knocks in a 3, his second of the playoffs, and the Sonics quickly by 9. 3.5 to play in the half. getting Payton. Manning again has not missed a shot in this second quarter. Danny Manning is on fire. He has gone 6 of 7 in the game and not missed a shot in this quarter. And George Karl cannot figure out a way to stop red-hot Danny Manning.
I think he was as concerned about stopping him as he was as to whether that was truly a foul. But Danny Manning is really just getting open. I mean, I tell you what I like. The 6 blocks, I think, are huge. His numbers are, are what they are. But Danny Manning is a complete player and prides himself on that. And he's been able to block shots for them and has been really big, I think, the whole series for them. I mean, we've talked about Person, we've talked about Chapman, but Danny Manning has been consistent.
And he's been healthy, which is a big thing for him.
Yeah, he had torn anterior cruciates in both knees and has managed to come back from both of them.
With the 3 and the miss and a rebound by Kevin Johnson. Guards getting rebounds. Chapman lost it. Hawkins picks it up. 3 minutes to play in the half. Sonics on top by 6. Another turnover. We've got a pace that favors Phoenix, but neither team can capitalize.
This is what Phoenix was wanting to do. Speed the tempo up.
Sonics by 6. They've shot a lot from outside, as has Phoenix. And speaking of shots, let's send over with the guy who has a lot of good shots, but only on the golf course. Scott Hastings with Phil Mickelson.
That's right, Phil, the winner of the Bay Hill Open this year. You're going to be on the Ryder Cup. First of all, Quinn wants to get some lessons. You're going to be in Dallas in a couple weeks.
Well, I've seen him play. So I think I'm going to hold off on those lessons.
You've been a fan of the Fenix Suns for a long time. I've seen you for 2 or 3 years. What do you think of this Danny Ainge team? A little different team.
Well, it's been pretty cool. What he did after the start that the Suns have had and to come back and make the playoffs, that's pretty incredible.
Any predictions for the second half, the rest of the game?
No, I just hope they keep playing hard. They played the last 3 games exceptionally well, and it's kind of cool to see them hanging top.
Phil Mickelson, he does it from the wrong side of the ball. Kevin?
Yeah, but he can get it where it needs to go, I can tell you that.
Lefty, he probably is as good from the right side as he is from the left, and Kemp was taking it inside after a real good-looking steal by Payton at the other end.
The anticipation with Payton was excellent. Danny Manning coming back in the ensuing fast break. Foul Sean Kemp hard, but it's playoff basketball. Danny Manning is known to do that, to give you a good foul. Kemp took exception to it, but if you're in the playoffs, you've got to expect you go down the middle. There's no harm intended, but only men allowed.
Now some substitutions. Chapman will leave, and Danny Manning, who's been red hot with 13 points, will take off. And in comes Williams, along with Wesley Person, joining Ceballos, Kevin Johnson, and Jason Kidd. You know, the common perception, as we talked about this in Game 1, was that Seattle is the team you want to meet in the playoffs because of all the so-called turmoil that has surrounded this team throughout the year.
Well, you know, I think over the long haul that can be a bit of a difficult situation, but they've also been a team throughout the years that has been able to play with somewhat success with it. I think the feeling generally was that they had matured because they got to the NBA Finals last year.
Here comes Ceballos with 7 to shoot. Couldn't get it to drop. Inside, corralled by Kevin Johnson. And a foul called on Sean Kemp. You know, it has got to drive someone like Kemp, as you see Kevin Johnson's mom in very fine voice in the stands, but it has got to drive this bigger Seattle team crazy when they see guards in the lane rebounding like Johnson has rebounded tonight.
Yeah, but I'd have to say, if you're the Sonics and you're playing against a team like the Suns, one of the criticisms that's always been against the Sonics is because they have always had great shooters that they don't block out. And if you don't block out a guard, you get a rebound.
Coming up in the Nike halftime report, Ernie Johnson and Reggie Theus will be joined by former Magic coach Bob Hill. We'll have Heat Magic highlights as well as some sound from the Portland Trail Blazers. And they'll get ready for tomorrow night's game against the Lakers. Bob Hill, of course, with the Spurs, New York Knicks. Off by John Williams.
Great kickoff, too.
Johnson to Kidd.
Missed an opportunity, but played the defense just like he needed to play it, did John Williams.
Shrimp. Tough shot, throw out of bounds. Person is there. 1:45 to play in the half.
I personally think you take those shots against Phoenix, that's what they want you to take. quick shots so they can get back on offense because they're not interested in guarding you that much defensively.
John Williams can't hold on to it. The turnover situation has 7 on the Suns, 8 on the Sonics.
Exactly. Take your time and back him and wait for whatever help is going to come.
Hawkins to Cummings, one-on-one with Kidd. Good matchup.
Yeah, you see, if you take your time, you'll get what you want. Because a team that traps and scrambles has got to leave somebody open because there's a double team, so someone has to get open.
Seattle not falling in that pit of trying to match up against a smaller Phoenix team. They're going with their strength, which is size and position.
If they stay with it, they have done it periodically. They just won't stay with it.
Kidd, Sabalos. Another minute to play. It's 55-49. Sonics again have their lead to 6. They led earlier by 13 in the first quarter. Suns have never led. Perkins for 3. He still can't hit from outside, but the rebound is corralled by Cummings to Payton. Oh, he hits another 3. Loading up on him. He's got 5 3-point bombs in this first half, and Gary Payton's put in 20 to lead the Sonics to a lead of 9.
They want to try and get a quick shot if they could so they can go for 2.
Sabalos tries to press the issue with Perkins and a charge on Sabalos.
The second time he made the move, and the officials stayed away from it the first time. So this time we came in, it was Sam Perkins again. And Danny is trying to say that he moved, but I'm not sure that he did.
20-second timeout, Sonics.
Said that Sabalos still trying to plead his case. Obviously 20 seconds on the part of Sonics gives them an opportunity to get the shot. One of the things I think the Sonics need to consider, Kevin, is throw it in, let the ball come back out, and throw it in again after the guy reestablishes his position. I have yet to see them do that. The closest they've come is to throw it in, swing it around, and throw it to the guy on the opposite side.
It gives that offense a little bit of rhythm.
It also catches the defense coming out of a double team, and you got a chance of a guy missing who he should be rotating to.
I think you've talked about patience all night. One thing which both teams have not shown a lot of, but when they have found success.
Phoenix won't show a lot of patience. I'm telling you, this team reminds me just of Danny. I mean, that's the way Danny played. He was always in a hurry trying to get things going. One thing you'll see with these teams, Danny's team don't ball fake on a shot and then not shoot it. They're not going to ball fake and then pass it. If you fly by them, they'll shoot it.
What do they say about all good coaches? They adapt their coaching style to what they've got to work with, which is what Danny Manning has done, or Danny Ainge has done with this team. It includes Manning and some smaller guards.
Yeah, that's why he's come smaller.
1-8 difference in the shot clock and the game clock. Winding down the first half. Sonics by 9. Going to be a 3 from Perkins, and where did that come from? He's only got 2 in the playoffs. His first tonight. And Sabalos will try to beat the buzzer. Good if it goes. And we come to a close in the first half.
That was a big hoop coming out of there because you get a 3-point play. So you're looking at a 12-point lead going in. That 3-point basket emotionally has to be big. Danny Manning down on the block is just too much of a load to handle, able to get anywhere he wants to get. Kevin Johnson doing an excellent job of finding him, as is Jason Kidd, keeping Danny Manning and his team involved in this game.
You can never tell where the offense for the Suns will come from. One night it's Chapman, the next night it's Wes Person. Tonight, Danny Manning, all in the second quarter, wrapping up a nice 13-point package. Sonics 61-49 at the half. We go back to Atlanta right after this.
And I'm watching assistant coach Frank Johnson tell Wesley Person and Kevin Johnson, let's get there now. Let's rotate right away.
Sonics have hit 9 more 3-point shots than Phoenix tonight. That's with 2 minutes gone in the third. They lead by 15. Suns have never led. Kidd to Chapman. He's got to get out. He's 1 of 8. And now he's 1 of 9.
Well, they've got him coming off picks, and what Detlef Schrempf is trying to do is if he may come late, but he wants to make sure he gets a hand up.
Terry Cummings can't hit. Second rebound in the half. Second for the game for Hot Rod Williams. Chapman the other way.
Can't hit is a mild understatement. He just shot an air ball.
Cummings bumping into KJ. Hawkins now will joust with Johnson. Jason Kidd takes him right down the lane.
That's why you don't see the unusual defense that Seattle normally employs, because they've got 2 ball handlers that if you leave one, the other one can get it, either Kidd or Johnson, and finish plays.
Great ball rotation. Nice fake. Hawkins across the lane. Cummings inside around Kidd, and that's the second time recently that we've seen Cummings draw Kidd defensively and take advantage of it.
The shot clock is down to 5. That's my point exactly. If a team is gambling, if you'll just be patient with it, you'll get any shot you want.
It's been your theme all night, and when they have shown patience, they have found 2 or more. 10 to shoot. Kidd. Chapman. He needed to hit that shot.
But he can make that one. See, some people will say that's a bad shot. It's a bad shot for most people. Rex Chapman can make that one.
He's 2 of 10 from the field. Shot by Williams, and a foul as he's working on Kemp. Jason Kidd in this game, 16 points to lead the Phoenix Suns.
He's been a lot of the offense from the guard position. Kevin Johnson, as you know, has been a little sore on that ankle. You see nobody comes over to pick up Jason Kidd on that one. Bad defense, good recognition, and reaction by Jason Kidd.
The team shooting right around 45% from the field. 11 threes by the Sonics, just 2 by Phoenix. 7 to shoot. Kemp, he's left open. Williams, his 3rd rebound. Under 8 to play here in the 3rd. Kevin Johnson. Likes the mismatch. This is how he creates on bigger mismatches like that. And that time Kemp got a double and they knocked it away.
Terry Cummings makes a heck of a defensive play.
Shrimp tried to save it. Out of bounds it goes off the side, so we'll turn it over for the 10th time.
Yeah, and that's something that they hadn't done a lot of. And Peyton and Detlef are both shaking their heads because they know they had what they wanted. They had big on small on big, with the big guy under the basket.
You know, Quinn, up until tonight, Detlef Schrempf had really not been a factor, but tonight he definitely is a factor. 5 of 8 and 15 for Seattle.
I just think he's been more aggressive, and I think the same thing has happened for the most part with Sam Person.
Person into 3. Hot Rod gets his first 2 tonight. So Hot Rod Williams writing a completely different story from the first half to the second.
The strength of the Phoenix Suns is their quickness. Force you to come help. You see Cummings, who's helped quite a bit, came over to help, leaving Detlef Schrempf to come from the backside, fouling Hot Rod Williams on that layup.
Hot Rod Williams is such a factor for this team. Most scoring coming from the perimeter quartet. Chapman, KJ, Kidd, Wes Person, but Hot Rod's interior defense and rebounding anchored this team.
Well, they really thought Hot Rod Williams was going to be the missing piece to the puzzle last year to get back to the championship series. And it turned out he got injured and wasn't able to provide them the inside defense they thought they were going to get.
10-point game, important defense here. Kemp works on Hot Rod. Doubled by KJ into Schrempf with a nice pass.
It was a great catch because it was a hard bounce pass backwards, and Schrempf controlled it to put it in.
Sonics again by 12 every time the Suns begin to push. The Sonics begin to take off.
But if I'm George Karl, I'm worried because I don't see my team scratching to get my lead up. I mean, I'm playing. See, they scored threes. It's what happened the other day. They were up 15, and then they get it down to 9 and 2 more threes. You're talking about a different game.
Chapman is at 2 in a row. He was 1 of 9, 1 of 8 at the half. Person has it. A 9-point game. Person for 3. Rebound by Schrempf, 6.5 to play. Person knocks it away, and Kemp retrieves it.
Made a smart play because the pass was short, and Person had it, and Kemp came to the ball. And this is a great timeout by George Karl to get control of his team. This is a time you get your team organized. They started to run again.
Seattle led by 15 in this third. Now it's chopped down to 9. Tomorrow the NBA playoffs continue right here on TNT. 8 o'clock Eastern. It's Game 4. Atlanta, Detroit. Then at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. It's Game 4 of the Lakers and Trailblazers series. Tomorrow it's doubleheader action right here on TNT. Earlier tonight on TNT, Orlando beat Miami by 8. They'll play Sunday on NBC. That'll be a 5th and deciding game of that first-round series.
I'll be playing against a team that I'm sure will play inspired.
Hayden trying to bank that home. This is the 3. Chapman breakaway. Jason Kidd.
What a great pass by Rex Chapman. Got out ahead. Coming out of the timeout, the Sonics forgot how much time was on the clock. Gary Payton had to take one. And now you see the pressing of the Suns.
The Suns on a 10-2 run, and they trail by 7. Shot clock at 6 for Detlef Schrempf. Whacked by Chapman and a foul on Rex Chapman.
What a good play by Schrempf. because you got to get a shot up now and get some good looks. But watch here when Rex Chapman gets the ball. He gets it, and sneaking behind is Jason Kidd, and he lobs it even though Hersey Hawkins is rushing to get back. Good pass, good anticipation. And when you have that pass, you don't throw it to the person. You throw it with a little arc to the basket and let the man run under it, just as Jason Kidd was able to run under that play.
Shrimp hits the free throw. Sam Perkins will come in, and Terry Cummings will take a breather. Cummings starting in place of Jim McElvain, who has seen very few minutes, but was the regular season starter at the center for the Sonics. And they want to go small against this team, and Cummings, who started the last 3 regular season games, filled that role starting at the center. But
McElvain, even though he was a big signee, was going to be a problem in this game because the tempo was too fast for him. But latter part of the season, Cummings played better, and this works out better for the Sonics because Cummings can get involved should the tempo speed up.
9-point game, a Seattle steal.
But that's not to say that they don't think that McElvain did not work out. He didn't. He was not what they wanted in terms of the shot blocking because he doesn't give them any offense.
3 by Shrimp. Great rebound by Perkins, rotating out to Hawkins and back to Payton, who's hit 5 3-point shots in this game. Kemp. And Shrimp over Kidd, the size advantage that so worried both coaches. And a rebound by Danny Manning. Match now Kidd. They got Manning and Payton down low, and Kidd will take it himself, and Kidd can't get that one to go. He does get the offensive rebound.
Yeah, he can do that.
Into Manning, and he can't get that, and Kemp was there, and a foul. Let's take a look at the GMC scoreboard. Miami losing in Orlando, so that series is tied at 2 apiece. Sunday they will play Hardaway tonight, 41. Stay tuned after the game on TNT as Minnesota Timberwolf Terry Porter will join Vince Cellini in virtual land.
But Sean Kemp picking up his 4th foul is significant because we talked about it. He's the guy that can jump. He's quick to things in terms of reaction. He's had foul trouble throughout the series. They've got to put him on the bench. They lose his rebounding and ability, and particularly his offensive rebounding and ability to get them some easy baskets. They come in with David Wingate, who struggled in the first half. In 8 minutes, gave him no points.
And they replace him with the guard.
Because they have Sam Perkins and Detlef Schrempf in. They think they have enough size. They're worried about defending.
Danny Manning, the only known professional basketball player to ever have 2 surgically reconstructed knees. One on the left, one on the right. Hawkins for the 3-shot. Manning again, who has been big. Here comes Kidd down court. Sabonis! This is the closest that Phoenix has been since the first quarter.
They've come out and start trapping, and that's been part of the reason that it's been different. Trapping defense makes you speed up. That's what the Suns wanted to do.
Now they tighten the defensive screws. Perkins double. Schrempf against Kidd. Doubled by Manning. Schrempf can't get it to go. Manning with another big rebound. He's got 15 points, 6 rebounds, and the Suns throw it away.
Yeah. Chapman was trying to make a pass backwards to Kidd, and he saw 2 people, and instead of throwing it 2-1, he threw it between both of the Suns.
It evens up the turnovers now at 10 apiece with 3:53 in the third as the game now beginning to go into full flow.
This is the flow that Phoenix wants. This tempo.
Hawkins the miss, Kidd the rebound. Johnson for 3. Oh, shot by Kevin Johnson. The Suns to within 2. Seattle led by 15. Phoenix has come back to within 2 on a 17-4 run.
And they've got the kind of looks they want right there. Rex Chapman gets a look. Then they're able to get into the middle. It's opened up when you make the 3-pointers. Kidd is able to get there. And then Chapman on a little runner, starting to warm up a little bit. All the Suns feeling good, socking it to the Sonics.
Let's go to Scott Hastings.
Okay, Kevin, I was just in the Seattle huddle during that timeout. George Karl saying, hey, it's just a trap. You've got to attack it. If you're going to allow them to get the trap going, then they're going to do what they've been doing to you. So his whole timeout was really focused on that trap that Phoenix is throwing at Seattle.
Suns with 3 guards, 2 forwards. Wingate to Hawkins. Defense the key. Shot clock at 2. He got the shot away, but it doesn't go in. Rebound Manning.
He was out of sync the entire time. Never got in position even to put the ball in the offensive position. Even on the trap, he wasn't supposed to be there.
Kidd the miss. Sonics the other way. Under 3 to play in the third. 2-point game. Payton trying for his 6th three. He can't get it again. Out of bounds. Loose ball foul.
On Manning. No, that's on Manning. Perkins had the first rebound, was trying to get the second one, and Manning moved him out of the way. But this is another place you miss Sean Kemp, because at some point you would be able to throw it inside. Having Wingate on the floor with no confidence. Wingate is not showing any offensive confidence at all.
Sonics have missed 8 in a row.
You got to shoot it.
Wingate will from 3. They've missed 9 consecutive shots. Manning with another rebound. Here comes Kidd. Trying to force the shot.
No, it was a pass. Tried to force the pass, but Wingate makes the play.
Hopkins by Johnson. Inside he collides. They call the charge. Taking it was Danny Manning.
Well, Hawkins tried to do what he thinks that George Karl needs to be done. He takes it to the basket. That's one they call. They thought Manning had established position. And you see a very concerned George Karl because he knows offensively they have no rhythm. They have not had it since the timeout they did the one before the last where the Suns came in off the track.
Kevin Johnson just tied the game at 72. This is our first tie. Suns have never led.
He's got to play.
Perkins inside.
George Karl has got to make a decision on Wingate because he's not doing anything for them. And this is where Nate McMillan would be to your advantage. Nate would make a play. Wingate has got to play. He's holding himself back. Let your instincts take hold. Just play when you got a chance to drive.
1:43 to play in the third quarter. Here comes Kevin Johnson working on Hawkins. Manning trying to set a pass inside. And the first lead for the Phoenix Suns. Danny Manning authors it. And that's 17 points for Manning, and the Suns lead by 2.
Kevin Johnson is doing work. He's getting the ball where it has to get to.
His mom is doing some work in the stands, too. Perkins inside, trying to tie. He does. Counted for 2, 7 to the stripe.
Yeah, but I'm looking at Wingate. At least he looked to try to advance the ball toward the basket.
They miss Nate McMillan.
Oh, without a doubt. And Sam Perkins is a guy they've missed for a long time. Now he's been able to get to the foul line. He gets some more scoring. He had scored only 8 points as you take a look at Nate McMillan, who has torn ligaments in his knee and tried to go, but they decided, and he decided after much pain, and I talked to him prior to the game, and he felt that he was not going to be of much value. They decided just to hold him out.
Perkins is 2 of 2 at the stripe as Rex Chapman will come in. And Ceballos will leave. Now they've got the 4 guards in there. Person, Kidd, Chapman, and KJ. 4 on the floor.
Yeah, they'll try to spread this a little bit. You can get guards coming a lot of places. And Danny Manning is a ball handler, so you got actually 5 solid ball handlers on the floor. The worst of them, actually, maybe Wesley Person.
Kemp has got foul trouble. He's got 4 as Perkins hits the free throw off the bench. 12 points in 18 minutes. Sonics by 1. Great pass by Manning. May have been tapped. It was intended for Kidd, and here comes Payton. Shrimp, Perkins.
Now go back in.
Just like you called. Wingate wide open. He's got to hit this if Seattle wants a chance. Yeah, they just got their chance.
Yeah, that's a big bucket for them. That's a big bucket for him emotionally, but it's a big bucket for the Sun to be able to now see, because players stop trusting you when you're on the floor not making plays, and eventually George has got to take him out of the game.
He was 0-5 until that shot. Manning for 3. Rebound Shrimp. Now it looks like the momentum is swung to Seattle, playing their kind of game. Wingate out of bounds off Person. Shot clock at 18. Big clock at 25 seconds in the third.
Yeah, I think that basket for Seattle, they've been waiting on Wingate or Greg Graham to come through. Now throw the ball inside, and now the defense has to come after the Wingate, and he can put it on the floor.
Payton right down the lane. Manning with another rebound. He's got 9 rebounds in the game. Kevin Johnson. Chapman fakes the 3 on the fly. Puts it inside. Rex Chapman.
What a tough shot. I mean, there the defender had gone under him, but Rex can, as I said, he makes runners.
He was 1 of 8 at half. He's hit his last 3. Third quarter coming to a close. It's off Seattle. That was forced by the double team of Chapman and Johnson.
No, that was forced because Detlef Schrempf wasn't strong with the ball. Officials, they'll let you play, but you've got to be strong with it.
Here's Chapman knocked away. Hawkins and Payton good if it goes. And we come to the close of a third quarter, which was tailor-made for the Phoenix Suns. They trailed by 15, came back to tie it at 72, but trailed by 2 at the end of 3. What a fourth quarter we've got in store. If the Suns win, they advance to the playoffs. Seattle fighting for their lives as Kevin Johnson's mom is in full blossom. Win Buckner, Scott Hastings, Kevin Harlan from Phoenix. We're in the fourth quarter. Here's Sean Kemp playing with 4 fouls, and they need that kind of scoring, which they haven't had halfway through the third.
Well, that's why it was such a big foul when he went out of the game. I'm surprised George came back with him early, but I think what George wants to do here is try to push the lead out a little bit, then get Kemp out of the game so he doesn't pick up that 5th, because if he does, it takes away from his aggressiveness.
Suns trying to slow the pace of this game. Suns want to run back and forth. Danny Manning can't hit. Rebound by Payton off his hands. Phoenix will inbound.
And Gary Payton is making a complaint, and I'm not sure it's a bad one. He tipped the ball, and as he tried to go get it, Wesley Person got him, and that's why the ball went out off Payton, but he's saying he should have got a foul call or consideration anyway.
Rex Chapman, he had hit his last 3, and that's his first miss in the last 10 minutes. Kemp with the rebound. He now at 15 for the game. 15 rebounds. Payton looking for Wingate.
They had Wingate wide open because Payton makes the play because the double team came early, and they had to make a decision, and the ball went where it needed to. Wingate didn't finish.
Manning slithering down the lane, can't get it to go, and draws the foul.
Offensive foul 15.
53 in the fourth, 80-76. The Sonics on top by 4. Ainge and his team trailed by 15. They came back to tie in the third.
Payton makes the good pass that goes out of Wingate's hands, has the position, clearly has it. Danny Manning a little out of control and gets called for that foul. Come back in with a lineup. They sent Danny Manning down, but they got Hot Rod Williams from inside play. But to get to extra scoring, they bring in Cedric Ceballos.
He takes the place of Rex Chapman. So it's Person, Kidd, Johnson, Ceballos, and Hot Rod Williams. They quickly double Kemp. Now it goes to Payton. Hawkins has it. Here comes Perkins. He has built his confidence back up tonight, but can't get that to go. Hawkins inside. Good with the rebound. He fails inside. Kidd had it, and Payton takes it away. Gary Payton with the big play.
And a strong move because he comes to a jump stop before, as most people would go for a layup. Gary Payton, who hadn't scored here in the second half, came to a jump stop, lofted softly.
Suns are shooting 46%. Sonics 40% from the floor through 3 quarters. Johnson the double. Wingate's on him. Shot clock at 6. Ceballos for 3. Rebound by Kemp. 16 rebounds for Kemp.
And now that you see the shot clock is being run, that means they're taking time on the Sonics. Can they get something inside? Playing him one, they don't go double this one.
Perkins and Williams to beat, and that's exactly what he did.
What Danny feels with Hot Rod Williams, a guy that can play inside and is a good defender inside, he decided not to double him after trapping, getting themselves back in the game. They're looking at now an 8-point deficit.
84-76, a 6-0 run in this quarter by the Sonics. Right now, look at the Dutch boy in the paint statistics. And they're interesting to see how these two teams have fought inside.
You can see the inside Sonics getting the offensive rebound. The front court, and that's why the starting front court is as it is, because they've been more aggressive. I think they've done a better job of getting the ball inside.
And let's check in with Scott Hastings.
Phil, is Danny Ainge concerned with the switching defense of Seattle, saying don't let them get you flat. Keep getting to the basket. As far as Seattle's concerned, Gary Payton, you're right, Quinn, is a tired man. He sat down, but he came up early after the bell rang.
Manning with the finger roll inside across the lane.
Well, Scott, you've watched as many games I have with Gary Payton. Gary Payton is a trooper. He'll come and play. What Danny Ainge means by flat means now they're making you turn and go to the sidelines. He wants you going to the baseline or toward the basket, not flat to the sidelines.
Pass to Payton. He's got 22. Here's Hawkins. He knocks in a three. He's got 9. 3 of 11 from the field. They have not gotten the kind of performance from Hawkins that they expected.
No, but they've been able to get minutes in a variety of other ways. But if Hawk makes 3-point shots like that, it makes that double team so much more difficult.
That's the only way he scored of the 3-point arc tonight. 6 to play in the game. Chapman, great screen by Manning. Hawkins is there.
Tough rebound because Kemp was in front and Hawk read the fact that Ceballos might get it and went to the backside and picked it up.
5:45 in regulation. Cummings to Payton. Shrimp, nice ball rotation and over Manning. Shrimp can't hit. A rebound by Kevin Johnson. He's got 4 tonight, all in the lane. Amongst a lot of tall guys. Manning can't get it to go. Kemp is there with another rebound, his 18th.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, they got that ball up quickly.
Payton into Kidd. Out to Hawkins. Will it be 4? His 4th 3 tonight.
Let me tell you, that's 2 guys who played a lot of basketball together because Hawk did exactly what you need to do. If your man is going to the baseline, flatten out to get him a place to throw it, he drills the 3.
Sonics by 9.
Doesn't mean anything with the Suns. Not the way they score. You know they won't find Rex.
Chapman for 3. Over Shrimp. He knocks it in. 3-point shot. His 3rd tonight. And the Suns down 94-88.
Yeah, it's the matchup that it can come off a pick because deadlift is too big. And big guys don't like coming off pick. And they don't like chasing little guys either.
Cummings draws the double. Out to Payton. Shrimp. Kidd is on him. And over Kidd. Shrimp. He can't hit. Rebound claimed by Ceballos and Kemp.
Kemp picked up his 5th. He was making a good effort, but Ceballos made a better effort.
5 fouls on Sean Kemp. 4.5 to play.
This is the call for George Karl. Do you leave him?
What would you do? You were
at this point
in this league.
Yeah, well, I'm former too. At this point, I might get him out of the official sight. So you get him off the court, take a breather. The timeout's coming pretty soon. Get him back in. So George is going to gamble with him.
Kemp is dealing with 5 fouls. Here comes Kevin Johnson right back into Kemp and trying to get number 6 in him out of the game, and he couldn't do it.
And Kemp had to back out of the way. He normally would block that. Luckily for the Sonics, he didn't pick up a foul.
4:11 in the game. Payton, who's played every second tonight, by Manning, by Kidd, by Person. He can't get it to go, and a foul call. Payton to the line.
Danny can't believe it. Manning, and I'm looking at Danny Ainge, who's moved all the way up the court. He's somewhat in disbelief.
That is Phoenix's first foul in this quarter.
Well, I don't think Phoenix has been put in a position to foul. I don't think the Sonics have taken it to the basket often enough. And George Karl is taking this time out so he can think his decision, particularly the one on Sean Kemp as to whether to leave him in the game.
Sonics by 6, 4:05 in regulation.
They chose to leave Sean Kemp in. So this is George Karl. I mean, the coach should know his team. There's some guys that can play with fouls, there's some that can't. George's decision, I believe, with the timeout is this one. If I can keep his legs fresh, he's obviously got a better chance to stay out of foul trouble, and that's what they've decided to do, as you see what Kemp and Payton have done as a team.
A nice adjustment by the Phoenix defense on the Sonics in the second half.
Yeah, they did. They came out of trap, and we talked about using time. It's one thing to use the time at your own speed. It's another thing to use your time when your opponent is making you use it because you have to find different places to enter the ball, and that's what Danny Ainge did, and that's how his team got back in this game.
Payton has 24 for the Sonics. He leads them. 19 for Manning. He leads. Here's Person, who's coming off a 29-point game, and tonight he has been just a shadow of what he was the other night. 0 of 4 from the field for Wesley Person tonight. sensation to Hawkins again. He'll drive this time, slashing inside Hawkins.
The jump shot makes him get you inside and out. Since he made the jump shot, you come after him, and now he puts it on the floor.
10-point game.
Doing a very good job defensively there.
Hawkins defending Johnson. He stepped out of bounds. You're right, it was good defense.
Yeah, Hawkins is an underrated defensive player. There's no doubt about it. He's a solid defensive player. Kevin Johnson does a lot of good things. He prefers to go left. Went that right that time and got caught.
Well, on one end, he hits his third consecutive shot, but Hawkins on the other end forces KJ out of bounds. That was a pretty good series for him.
Yeah, it was. And what George Karl did, Scott Hastings said, was in the huddle and said, George Karl told Shawn Kemp to play hard, but play smart. That way he keeps him in the game.
Better passing, Perkins and Hawkins and Payton and Shrimp all involved. Trying to get it down low. Manning is on Kemp. So Payton will take it himself with 4 to shoot. Rebound, Ceballos inside, down by 10, under 3 to play. Here come the Suns. Whoa! Chapman for 3. He thought he was fouled. Kidd the offensive rebound. Payton knocked it away. Suns will inbound.
Payton was hustling for the ball. Chapman wanted the foul, but he has very little chance. First of all, you're in a fast break situation, and the officials just weren't in position to get that.
Kevin Johnson gets it off to Hawkins on a steal.
You know, and as this thing goes down the wire, you know, if it starts to get away even more than it has on the Suns, you know, you could be looking at KJ's last game in the America West Arena.
If they would lose tonight, then of course lose Saturday up in Seattle. That's a big if.
It's time with the shooting team that they have, but the Suns are playing against a Sonic team that's playing more like the team that was in the championship now.
Kemp for 3. Perkins volleyballs it back to himself. 2:20 to play. Seattle seems very in control.
Now, I'll tell you what they've got. And it's hard to argue about this, but your size doesn't get tired. And they're now starting to play to that side.
Kemp inside in the first jam tonight by Shawn Kemp.
And that was a smart play. He got a technical foul for trying to incite. That part of it wasn't smart, but the smart part was not by running over anyone, but he picked up a technical foul. Now watch, he gets the ball. Now he's got a chance to go up quickly and hard, but watch what he does. He tries to gather himself. There's a bump, but there's a lot more acting there. But then that part didn't get him. This is what gets him. That part right there. And the official felt that that was warranted a technical.
Kevin Johnson will take the shot. And the Sonics in a 12-3 run over the last 4.5 minutes. They lead 188 over the Phoenix Suns. And here's Kevin Johnson, an 85% free throw shooter with 2:02 to play.
First of all, it's too early to be celebrating, so Shawn Kemp has to take that into consideration. Second of all, they get a chance to get a regroup. And that's what George Karl did, tried to settle his group down.
Person, Manning, Chapman, Kidd, and Kevin Johnson on the floor for the Suns. Danny Crawford stopped playing. They'll inbound once again.
Well, they want 2 seconds put back on the shot clock, and this is the thing to do. The reason is because if Kevin Johnson doesn't touch the ball, the shot clock shouldn't start. They started it inadvertently here, believe it or not, in Phoenix. So the Sonics do the right thing. Move up so that you have to use up the time.
2 minutes.
Kevin Johnson will put up a 3-point jump shot. Hawkins with the rebound. Johnson took it away!
What a play by Kevin Johnson. Knew he had missed the shot. Tracked it down. When the ball came down in the hands of Hersey Hawkins, he just took it out. And he does it so quickly. You see him take it. And he knows he missed. A shooter knows he missed the shot. Now watch Hersey Hawkins. Thinks he has the ball. Clearly Johnson takes it and shoots it in one motion and gets fouled. And gets a chance to complete a 3-point play.
And make it an 8-point game with 1:52 to play. He got it. 192. Hawkins met by Kidd and Chapman. Gets it out to Perkins. Beat the trap. Shrimp back to Perkins. Kemp, nice find in Hawkins. He had hit 3 in a row until that right there. Now the Suns get it back with 1.5 minutes to play, down by 8 points, 192.
3-point shooting team as this is, shooting 39% in their 2 wins. They can get by. You know, this is not a big task for them. And Jason Kidd just traveled and got away with it. He wanted to pass the ball.
He draws Kemp. He'll blow by him. Big play by Jason Kidd. It's a 6-point game.
No, Hershey Hawkins doesn't want to bring it up on Kevin Johnson.
Suns on a 6-0 run.
But the Sonics can't afford to not attack. You still have to attack the basket too much time.
Hawkins on Person. Shot clock at 3 for Perkins. Rebound by Kidd.
Got it up.
Wesley Person at the other end. It's a 4-point game.
Got to get good timeout because they almost didn't get the ball in.
Timeout, Seattle. Sonics on the brink of elimination, needing a win tonight to stay alive. Phoenix with the win can wrap it up. It's 2-1 in this series, with the Phoenix Suns on top of Seattle. Let's check in with Scott Hastings.
Kevin Sickman knows in the Seattle huddle at that timeout. George Karl, very particular. Be smart. Drew up the diagrams. Here comes the trap. Here's where you go. Watch your rotation. Very teaching kind of a timeout that time.
Yeah, and that's a good place to be at this point. You want to make sure you get people in the right position. And that's what they want to do. Now, the Suns have a foul to give.
Kemp inside. And a foul on Phoenix. 38 seconds in regulation. Manning picks it up. He's got 6 and he's gone.
Well, then Danny, they lose a ball handler who's actually been playing pretty well. But they get Sean Kemp to the Sonics, get him going to the basket. Again, able to stay under control. And one of the reasons Sean can do that is because he's what they call a power jump. Off of both legs, he has the ability to get his height and get where he needs to go.
Well, the Suns have no fouls to give, but without Danny Manning in that third quarter, this team may have been sunk. He played an outstanding ball game, 19 points and 10 rebounds.
Played very well in that period of time. And for the Suns, they have 1 timeout and a 20. For Phoenix, they have 3 timeouts.
Mike Brown brought in, joining Person, Williams, Kidd, and Chapman. Sean Kemp is 6 of 7 at the free throw line tonight. He scored 17 points, 18 rebounds.
Yeah, the rebounds have been huge. He should get them, but until the guy goes up and makes those plays, you know, you always wonder. But Sean has played. Everybody talked about whether or not he would play, and he's played very well. Suns take a timeout.
It's a 6-point game. Seattle from the free throw line tonight, a pristine 18 of 20. Sonics on top by 6. Tomorrow, the NBA playoffs continue right here on TNT, 8 o'clock Eastern, Game 4, Atlanta-Detroit. Then at 10:30 Eastern, it's Game 4, the Lakers and Trailblazers. Tomorrow, it's doubleheader action right here on TNT. Earlier tonight, Orlando beat Miami by 8. They'll play Sunday on NBC, and Danny Ainge has talked to Kevin Johnson and crew. They trail by 6 with 38 seconds to play.
They'll probably get a play where they'll get down on the baseline and they'll look for, if they can, to run Rex or Wesley Person off a double screen to get him to come off and shoot some shots. But they've got to get it in first. They got it in, and they'll get it back to him. Now, oh, they almost turned it over on that play.
Kevin Johnson slips. Shrimp is there, jumped on with Perkins. He was trying not what was designed.
Yeah, he was trying to call timeout, but he never had possession of it. As you saw his mother taking a look at it, Kevin Johnson was never able to get possession of it. Sam Perkins should control this. For here, the Sonics should get it over to Hersey Hawkins and Sean Kemp. You got 2 Sonics over there, and being left-handed, Sam Perkins should be able to do that. Will the Suns steal it?
Kidd got a hand on it. Out of bounds, out of Seattle. And Phoenix will inbound with 29 seconds to play.
Well, Kidd anticipated where the ball was going. Sam was left-handed. They tipped it in between Kemp and that time, I think it was Hawkins, and it just never got there. You've got to come get to those.
KJ will inbound. 29 seconds to play, 24 on the shot clock. Suns down by 6.
Now Rex is shooting from nowhere.
He's got some, and quick. It's a 2-point
Tough shot.
It's a 4-point game, and full-court pressure employed by the Suns. Calling Kevin Johnson. 22 seconds left. Sonics at the line. Suns down by 4.
Yeah, Suns going to make it a free throw shooting contest right here. Sean Kemp's on the line. He's only missed 1 foul shot, 7 of 8. This is Rex Chapman. I mean, it's a difficult shot, but he's always been a guy who makes difficult shots off of one leg, kind of floating here, backward. I think one of the reasons he's learned that is because he's an exceptional athlete that can jump. And at some point, you've got to jump over and around people, and that's what he's done. He just made a tough shot.
Kemp, big game. 19 points, 18 rebounds, 20 points in 18.
I'll tell you what else they got that was huge. Sam Perkins came alive. He got 16 points in this game, and they got 19 from deadlift, so they got somebody else to get involved.
Kevin Johnson will have a chance at a 3-point play. He makes it a 4-point game. 16 seconds left. They don't quit.
No, they won't quit, but the real question is, what are the Sonics doing by letting him get there, and then don't foul him on the shot if you're going to foul him. Don't let him get it out.
This Phoenix team has truly been measured by the size of their heart, not by the size of the player. They're down with the small lineup. They have stuck to their guns. Phoenix has stuck with that all series. It's a 3-point game. Timeout, Sonics. 13 seconds to play.
22nd timeout.
Yeah, and it's at this point, he doesn't want to waste the timeout, because if he wasted his timeout, he doesn't get a chance to advance the ball, because they threw the ball in, so you don't get to take the timeout and advance it. So instead, he'll take the 20-second timeout, try to get the ball in, and save you a full timeout in case you need it sometime later with these 13 seconds to go here. Phoenix was rebounded, if I'm not mistaken, in game 1. And I mean, if they're making shots, they kind of negate the rebounding circumstances. They just haven't been able to make it a lot. You see Kevin Johnson's mother was, I'm sure, asking for a little divine intervention to get a little help here.
Sonics to inbound off the Kemp, fouled by Johnson. 11.9 left. Send Kemp, who's had a great night at the free throw line, 9 of 10 to the free throw line. He's 20 points.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good night all the way around. He's gone 37 minutes and then solid from the only thing he's, I still think at some point the foul trouble is going to get them. See Terry Cummings with a little smile, feeling comfortable here.
You mentioned something in game 1. You said this Seattle team, could not get to the finals unless Sean Kemp began to play well. Games like tonight, I think, boost the confidence of the entire team, just when they see Kemp now at 21 play so well.
Yeah, and he actually has played well in all 4 games. What I think they got some confidence in is that Wingate has made some shots. Cummings has made some plays, but Sean Kemp and Gary Payton have to be there, but they also have to help the other guys raise their level of confidence.
Kemp has been the only Sonic to score in the last 3 minutes. He's got 8 in a row. Sonics by 5. Kevin Johnson said this would be his last season with the Phoenix Suns in the NBA. A litany of injuries have caused him to think that way, but the Suns, they kind of think that might be a different story because of the way he has played down the stretch. Arguably his best career year.
Well, it's been a very good year because he's been healthy, one. And then there's some consideration from Jerry Coangelo, the owner, who we showed moments ago, that after the conversation, Jerry felt somewhat encouraged by it, but I think Kevin Johnson is pretty much committed to the fact that he wants to retire. He thinks it's time to move on.
Kid Sabalos over Kemp for 3.
Oh, yes!
6.5 seconds left. 2-point game. Inbound to Schrempf. Held by Chapman, 5.4 to play. How about that shot by Cedric Sabalos?
Get your points. Rex is a little mad at himself, but Cedric is the guy, he's trying to get the fans involved in the game. They want some energy because they don't want this thing to get away. Because you got them at home where you want them, the ball goes in, and Ced takes a step back, and Sean Kemp doesn't want the foul, which is a smart play. And Ced just knocks down the 3-point shot to put him down 2.
Schrempf is 5 of 5 from the free throw line tonight. And it's a 3-point Sonic lead. 107-104.
Boy, I have not heard the air come out of a balloon so quickly with these fans when that one went in. And this is the one that you need because you can make it a two-shot, two-possession game.
He missed that. Here comes Williams. Timeout. Phoenix. 4.5 to play.
Yeah, that's why you wanted it, because you're making a two-possession game. Now the Suns, known for their three-point shooting, have a chance to come and get one.
This has worked out so wonderfully for the Phoenix Suns. Down by 15 points in the third quarter. They came back to tie it at 72. They have been as close as 3 in this fourth quarter. There they are right now once again, 107 to 104. Let's go to Scott Hastings.
Kevin, obviously a very exciting time. Seattle watching, and don't be surprised if once the ball's entered that they may foul. And they said don't foul the shooter shooting a three-pointer, but they may foul when the ball comes right in. Obviously, Danny Ainge running the three-point play right now. He's looking at Rex Chapman. He's looking at Wesley Persons, and he's saying, hey, do something special for me.
Well, he's had some special moments, for sure, here winning games 1 and 3. But I think, you know, with George Karl, what they would do is try to foul a passer, but they don't want to foul anybody shooting the three-point shot. Rex Chapman is obviously one of the guys you have to keep an eye on. His rhythm from the three-point line has been good. They will advance the ball, as you can do. If you don't advance it with a timeout. And Danny Ainge is at center court to tell Wesley Person what to do.
Person has not hit a 3 tonight. Sabalos has 2. Kidd has 1. KJ 1. Chapman 3 three-point shots.
I'd force it back to KJ. He's the guy taking the ball out of bounds.
Chapman for the tie. Oh! He whacked it. Rex. Unbelievable. We are tied.
Is that outrageous or what? Rex Chapman gets it. Here's that leaner again. Once he squared those shoulders. Oh, no. Rex, you called it just like the number on your back 3 times. I thought Hawkins had a chance at it, too, and he does what you need to do. Get there and just defend. But he couldn't afford to foul him because as soon as Rex got the ball, he was technically going into a three-point shot. So if you foul it, and Danny Ainge is making sure they don't get the ball, ever a coach, make sure that they don't get the ball and push it up. What a shot by Rex Chapman, who's made runner after runner after runner and three-pointers this entire series. Has had a great series. And here's a guy the Suns pick up and is on a minimum contract. They picked him up during the preseason, and he was sitting around waiting for somebody to give him a call. Boy, has he ever gotten a break of his life, playing great here in this series.
So an NBA playoff record 9 three-point shots in game 1. Won that game with 42 points. Tonight, he ties the game with a little less than 2 seconds remaining at 107 in an improbable, almost incomprehensible shot. Off balance, fading away, a defender in his face with the clock ticking down.
But the thing that if I'm George Karl, I'm worried. I talked about the emotion of making that first foul shot, which Dylan Shrimp, he missed the second one. And then when they make it here in Phoenix, his team, you can see them rock emotionally as the intentional has been taken by Mike Brown so they can try to figure out where the player is going to go. Another one, delay a game, is a foul shot.
Shrimp. Kemp lost it. We've got overtime.
And the emotion is with the Suns.
Phoenix trailed for all but 2 seconds of the fourth quarter. So Rex Chapman sends this game into overtime and ties it with this 3. Welcome to the playoffs. Rex Chapman 3 ties it. We're in overtime. Let's quickly check in with Scott Hastings.
Well, I was talking with Quinn. He said, look at those guys. I ran over to the huddle. Seattle was flat and dead. Even the coaching staff coming out of this timeout. Sean Kemp grabbed the troops together right before the jump ball here and said, come on, let's go. Let's win it.
Yeah, it was clear that needed to happen because after that, Scott, you could see that the team was just emotionally drained after being up 8 points with 1:52 left, and now they find themselves in overtime. They've got to regroup.
Sonics on the brink of elimination. KJ can't hit it. The Sonics need to win to stay alive. Phoenix can wrap up the series with the win. We're in overtime.
Now, what you can't forget is Sean Kemp has 5 fouls.
Very good point. Here's Schrempf. Chapman is on him, blocks it away. Good screen by Kemp. The switch inside, picked off by Chapman.
And Kemp couldn't go get it because he can't afford to risk trying to get the ball and foul.
Schrempf the foul as Chapman trying to wiggle his way. 4:14 in overtime. We're tied at 107. Neither team has scored so far. Chapman 13 points in the fourth quarter and 22 for the game.
This is the mismatch they really want to get. See, they'll get it back.
They'll break down the defense with his quickness and speed. Person, Johnson, shot clock at 9. Kidd with the wide open lane. Rejected by Kemp. Shot clock at 4. Kidd for 3. Suns by 3. 3:40 in overtime.
Sonics, they've got to settle down. They're not in their rhythm.
Schrempf to tie, and he does at 110.
That may get them back in their rhythm, but they were still kind of lost in the moment of the shot that shocked them by Rex Chapman. You could see they weren't getting themselves in the position where they need to make plays. Got to play off of him, and that's what Johnson is trying to do, and they're trying to give it to him with a dribble to close it.
Looking down the defense again. Kevin Johnson with an incredible shot.
Yeah,
he's got 25.
They give it to him so you have to close on it to make a play.
Opens to Hawkins. Yep, picked up by Williams, and a foul called on Hot Rod Williams inside. 3 minutes left in overtime.
Well, he's saying that Sean Kemp is clamping his arm, which he has been doing. He reached inside there. Kemp,
Schrempf, and a foul. He got whacked pretty good in the eye, as you can see. Kevin Johnson picks up the foul for Phoenix.
Well, they might have given it to Kevin Johnson. They could have gone a lot of places, but those kind of plays, you know, I'm thinking, at what point do you get ticked off and you say, all right, you got me this time, and then get you and your team riled up?
The last time Schrempf was at the free throw line, he made 1 of 2, and the fact that he missed that one gave Phoenix the chance to tie, and they did.
That was a good foul shooter. I mean, and good foul shooters don't let any misses bother them. As you see, Nate McMillan can only sit with his hands upon his head, not being able to be out and help his team.
AJ's got 5 fouls. Kemp has got 5 fouls. Hawkins has got 5 fouls. Schrempf, 25. 1:12 per time. Gary Payton has played every second of this game tonight. Kevin Johnson wiggling down the lane, and he can't get it to go. Schrempf is there, out to Payton. 2.5 remaining in overtime.
Boy, Sean Kemp and the Sonics are lucky because I thought he fouled as the corner was being turned there by Kevin Johnson.
Schrempf, pretty play, can't get it. Rebound, Chapman, outlet to Person. Johnson and Hawkins. What a spin move by Kevin Johnson. Rebound by Hawkins. Here comes Payton. Seattle has numbers. Kemp, Perkins, Payton. Shot clock at 10.
Got a number inside. Sean Kemp has got Wesley Person on him.
Look at Payton eat up the defense and take it in for 2. What a graceful move by Gary Payton.
Well, there was nothing that Kevin Johnson can do because Kevin Johnson is top. And Gary Payton just took advantage that Johnson he has no energy to go anywhere. So Danny Ainge took the timeout. See, this part of the game here in the overtime has been played like the traditional playoff game where it's been more half-court oriented. And that favors what the Sonics want to do. Get it down, pound it. And part of this is you got a tired Suns team.
Sonics have hit 16 threes. The Suns have hit 9. Here's Gary Payton at the free throw line. The Sonics tonight 25 of 30. Phoenix 17 of 23 from the stripe. Gary Payton has got to be tired. His 27-point, 14 assists, 7 rebounds in 52 minutes.
Strong basketball.
For Payton. Johnson for 3. Rebound by Kemp. Hauls down his 20th rebound tonight. And Kevin Johnson draws the foul. He is gone. And will this be the last time that this arena will see Kevin Johnson showcase his talents? As he gets the standing ovation.
Well, as some of the fans know that this may be their last opportunity to see Kevin Johnson play in America West Arena.
Kevin's mom. Kevin from Sacramento. Established a home there for children. His mom has been very involved with Kevin's life and serves still to this day as a very limelight. Kemp with 23 points and 20 rebounds. Perkins will leave. Wingate comes in.
Kevin Johnson, part of this team that's made history. I mean, they still got another game to play, and they've got to regroup. But this is the only team that's ever lost a double-digit streak and won double digits. So they're a team that has a lot of resilience.
The rookie Nash for 3. He got it. 121-115. 13 seconds to play. Sonics inbound. Here comes Shrimp. Whacked by Nash and by Person.
Well, I think, frankly, the Suns thought because there was no foul earlier, where there was a trap and a little contact, that there wouldn't be any here. And there is the ball that probably would come up.
Well, I think still for George Karl, who tonight decided to stick with his strength and not try to match up against Phoenix, not be sucked in by this small ball and what has been arguably the most entertaining style of basketball we have seen all season of Phoenix. He said, I can't match up against it. I just got to play to my team's strengths, and it paid dividends tonight.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, but George Karl can want to do this until he's blue in the face, if you will. The players don't take it in, absorb it, and do what they need to do. George Karl can't do anything about that. And I think today what he got was a team that bought into it and understands a little better what it takes. And he's hoping to get home where they have home court advantage after winning the Pacific Division and get some emotion to go with some of the execution they got here this evening.
Sonics on an 11-0 run. Nash. Out of bounds with 3 seconds left, and Seattle will force a 5th game. So the Sonics looked right into the eyes of elimination, and it took overtime, but Seattle did not blink, and they force a 5th game on the brink of elimination. It's Seattle in overtime, 122-115.